Jai Janendra, everyone. This is a worldwide Jain virtual classroom. We are currently running stress management workshop. Today will be session 20, I believe, and we are into the section of management of stress. So we have covered the definition and understanding of stress. We have covered causes of stress. We've also looked into consequences of stress. Now we are covering the ways to manage stress. And last two times we covered common perceptions about stress management. What are the different tools and techniques that people try out or people pursue? But when we really went through each of them and kind of analyzed whether they do or do not bring any results or not. So one of them was improper prioritization or like balance of not having balance of priorities in life. And last time we stopped where basically last time we stopped at that point, and today we should look into a little more about what is that prioritization. So in Jainism, there are four types of priorities that has been mentioned. Four categories of priorities or goals in life that has been mentioned for a householder or a layman like us, and they pretty much cover every single aspect of activity that we do. And I'll mention there are four categories. They are known as dharma, earth, kam, and moksha. Okay, so let's cover earth and a kam. Earth means basically earning or earning livelihood, right? So whatever activities we do as our business or as going to work, basically doing any extra activities with the purpose of earning money or earning livelihood or accumulating property, that's basically earth. So all those activities are covered by the category of earth. Second type of priority is earth and calm. Calm means pleasure, sensual pleasure. We're not talking about extrasensory pleasure that Jainism talks about. We're in this particular, we're talking about the sensory pleasure or the other things that we do, right? Whatever we do, then we spend and we take some pleasure out of it. We run our life, we take some pleasure out of it. So whatever we do, we eat, we take care of our family, we take care of our necessities, we take care of our some of the luxuries that we enjoy. And then third one is dharma. Dharma is basically about social. Basically here, dharma is in the context of social responsibility and a welfare type of activity, social welfare activities. So that's a dharma. That's basically doing charitable, philanthropic activities, helping someone out. That's a dharma. And moksha is basically it's about your spirituality. Ultimately, who you are in life and what you should pursue in life. What goals should we pursue and what goals are worth pursuing, and then how to pursue the ultimate goal of being free from all the kashayas and liberate ourselves. So that's moksha. These are the four ultimate goals. I mean, any activities that you can think of in life could be pretty much covered out of any four of these categories, right? So all these are different categories or goals that are prescribed for a householder. But what's important is all of us are going to have these goals, right? At least we all know that we have some degree. Everyone in life has at least one goal, which is earth, right? Earth and calm. They are basically two inevitable goals that every one of us will have. We will, no matter what we do, we are going to do something to earn a livelihood for us, and then we are going to spend that money to sustain and survive and to run our life in peaceful and happy manner. That's earth and calm are going to be there. Now, in different people's life, in different uh, in different degrees, varying degrees, we also have other priorities of dharma and moksha. Not everyone has those priorities, but yes, we all do in varying degrees some level of priority. So ultimately, Nisha, do you agree that anything that you could think of in life would be covered in these four categories? Can
Sure.
you think of any other activity besides these four in life? I mean, ultimate purpose. These are the ultimate purpose for which living being lives in life. Any activity would fall into one of these four purposes, basically. There's such a
Yeah.
wide amount of classification that has been done in Jainism, basically, and that's dharma, earth, kam, and moksha. So, Saurabh, Jainendra,
Hello, Jai Chandra.
Saurabh, so we just started discussing about dharma, earth, kam, and moksha. So basically, as Jainism mentions, there are four types of goals or priorities that every living being has in life, which are dharma, arth, kam, and moksha. And what's important from Jain point of view is to have a proper balance of all four in life, in a layman's life or in a householder's life like us. So, can you explain us a little bit more about what is dharma, arth, kam, and moksha, and what type of balance we need to have in life in terms of priorities?
Okay. Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha. So I'm just right now I'm searching out that matter. It was good in one book, but I'm unable to get that.
I think it was wasn't it Sagar Dharmamrut?
Yeah, it is in Sagar Dharma. I'm trying to search it out from there on. But I have remembered something. We must target as a moksha. So dharma, kam, and moksha. We must target a moksha. Though we are living in domestic life. So dharma, arth, kam, and moksha. Arth it means to earn money for your livelihood. Kam it means kashaya bhav. Kashaya bhav maybe rag bhav for wife, rag bhav for other. But specifically here is specific for wife.
So
So
Saurabh,
dharma,
all the sensual pleasures or are fulfilling our daily needs and indriya requirements that would be under calm as well, right?
yeah. That would be under Kam as well.
Uh,
So, Dharma, Arth, and Kam and Moksha. In our Manusya Bhav, as per Jinagam, we must target as a moksha. But though we are living in domestic life, so we cannot, we must not avoid our duties to earn money because with the help of money, we will be able to support our family. We will be able to give a good life for all of them. So, as per Jinagam, you are a Sravak and you must earn money.
Saurabh,
And
we cannot see you. I mean, it's okay. I mean, but I just wanted to let you know that your video is not going through.
my video is not. 1 minute, 1 minute. Not showing?
No.
Wait, I'm just
When you
turning it
first
off.
joined, it was showing, but I think before you started speaking, okay, now we can see you. Yeah. So we have Saurabh, we have Nishit here, and we have Priyanka as well. No,
Okay. Ketanji is not
Exactly.
here.
no, Ketan is not here today.
Then धर्म अर्थ एंड काम एंड मोक्ष इनका जो बैलेंस होता है ना ये लाइफ में होना चाहिए ऐसा जनागम बोलता है.
सरोज पहले एक्चुअली चारों चार का मीनिंग समझा दीजिए. आई डोंट थिंक एवरीवन नोज द फुल मीनिंग ऑफ ऑल फोर टर्म्स.
मैं भी ना डेफिनेशन ढूंढ रहा था इसमें. एक्चुअली में डेफिनेशन मुझे याद नहीं है. डेफिनेशन जो हम बोलते हैं उससे कुछ अलग हटके पड़ी थी मैंने, इसलिए मैं ग्रंथ रखा हूँ सामने.
मैंने ऐसा सुना था, basically earth is basically about earning money and livelihood and every activity about that. Calm is basically fulfilling our sensual pleasures and our daily necessities of family and pleasures. Dharma is basically about social and welfare activities in life. Moksha is about our spirituality, basically about moksha.
हाँ बराबर है ये.
So that was the four terms that I learned actually.
हाँ इसमें मिल नहीं रहा. इसमें मैंने डिटेल पढ़ा था, काफी डिटेल पढ़ा था मैंने, अब वो मेरे दिमाग से निकल गया वो. चलिए फिर कभी देखेंगे अपन. धर्म काम एंड मोक्ष यही है, मेन जो कंसेप्ट है यही है. कि इन सब का बैलेंस होना चाहिए हमें, और टारगेट हमारा मोक्ष का होना चाहिए। हमारी जितनी भी एक्टिविटीज होती है वो सारी की सारी हम मोक्ष को टारगेट करके करना चाहिए। श्रीमद रायचंद जी ने कहा है ना मूल तत्व विचार में, वह सुख सदा ही त्याज्य पश्चात जिसके दुख भरा। तो सारे के सारे इंद्रिय सुख त्यागने योग्य हैं, क्योंकि वो उसके बाद दुख रहता है ना हमें इसलिए। तो धर्म अर्थन काम और मोक्ष, इस प्रकार से इनका ये स्वरूप है। डिटेल में देखूंगा जहां मिलेगा, अभी मिला नहीं मेरे को।
So
हाँ
in
आगे।
general, we should not have access towards one particular goal, because if we do access of one particular goal, and other goals suffer, then there will be imbalance in life, and that would not be very healthy to sustain our life in that in our Shravak avastha, right? In a householder stage, is that right? Suppose I remember in Sagar Dharmamrut I studied that if one is one is focusing only on money, that is also not very healthy, because that's creating more and more and more stress, living in all the time just thinking about how to earn money, the anxiety of earning money all the time. That is not very healthy, not from spiritual point of view, not from family point of view, because also family life also suffers when someone continuously stays involved in just a business or in just earning money activities. Second is, if someone is just not focusing on other aspect and just being involved in calm, means just spending money and being involved in with sensual pleasures, then the other goals will suffer. That person would go bankrupt. He keeps spending money and doesn't have regard to other. And also ex- go, our dharma, earth, calm, all these priorities should be within the limits of our values. So they shouldn't be done with anyaya, aniti, and atyachar. They shouldn't be done with injustice or violence or basically unrestrained full activities. So that's another thing that we should do within the limits of our values and our basically in the goal of containing kashayas. So
Great. Is there an ideal breakdown described somewhere? How much percent of your time should you be spending towards each of these goals, or anything like that?
here's the thing though, right? How much time you spend on each of these activities versus your spirituality, which is your ultimate goal, depends on how much kashaya a person has, right? If person has, we know a lot of people, right, in life. We may find many, very, very many people who the only goal in their life is to just get rich no matter what, and that's the only goal they have in life, that earn money and spend money and earn more and more and more, right? So they have so much kashas towards earning money and towards spending money, that that's all their goal is. Now consider that to someone who's a little more satisfied in that amount of wealth he already has. So he is able to take time out of his schedule. And then he's going to do other activities, social activities, as well as compare that to other person who also has a knowledge and importance of knowing spirituality and pursuing spirituality, because social responsibility is also just a way to avoid us from getting into basically violent and unethical activities. But ultimate goal is the spirituality, right? Pursuing the state of no stress. And person who understands that then will have further what you call containment of his kashayas or suppression of his kashaya, and then he will pursue more and more time towards his spirituality. So you can compare person on one extreme who is spending all his time in earning money and spending money. Some people just earn money, don't even spend money, right? Because they say they don't even have time to spend money. And some people, just some people I know, a lot of there were friends when I was in school, friends of mine who were not very rich. I knew that they were not very rich, but they somehow found ways to spend their dad's money all the time by going to video game parlor and other things, and then never paid attention to anything else, and their studies suffered and their career suffered due to that. I mean, there are people like that too who just end up finding ways to spend money for no reason, like on gambling or in drinking or other stuff. They don't even have a proper ways of earning to. And then it is said in Sagar Dharmamrut, I read that if one focus just on spirituality too much in householder stage, then what's going to happen is if he doesn't uh, focus on his earnings and livelihood as well, then he won't be able to sustain himself, and he may go bankrupt because his kashas hasn't come down to a point where he can limit his desires. And if he cannot limit his desires, then if he continues to spend and he wants to pursue spirituality, it won't happen altogether. It's not sustainable. So goal is basically the focus should be, as Saurabh mentioned, our goal should be going towards more and more towards spirituality, and pursuing more and more spirituality means what? What do we mean by spirituality? It's not just going to temple and just bowing down. Ultimately, the end result is what matters. So all of those are the part of activities. That's going to temple, studying this Jain scriptures, understanding the science of stress management from Jain point of view. Is all the tools that will help us get there. But ultimately, it's a reduction of kashas, elimination of kashas. How much we achieve that. That's what ultimate spirituality matters. And goals should be more and more as our kashayas reduce, goal would be more and more to increase that time and that priority, and reduce the other activities less and less. Right. So if you compare that to a state of Muni does, yes, this kasha is to the point that he doesn't even see any, he doesn't even want to earn anything because he doesn't need anything. His kashas have come down to a point. So for him, goal of earth and calm has completely gone away. The only thing that is left in his life is spirituality, is moksha. And when he is in avastha, conscious, in a conscious means in a stage where he is able to communicate. When he's not in a dhyana avastha, but in a meditation state, when he comes across people, interaction of people, when he gives updesh, which is basically dharma. Again, is dharma and moksha basically. So that type of
So
prioritization.
can you expand a bit more on dharma? What I mean, I'm guessing there's some overlap, but what dharma is like community service or betterment of your
Basically,
society?
community service and charitable activities. Basically, all any amount of money that we earn, or we should spend some money, not just money, and or some of our time too. Basically, in terms of helping others, and making sure we do support the right initiatives in society for the well-being of others and the society. That helps us do two things. It helps us make sure that we don't waste our money in unnecessarily self-centered sensory pleasures all the time, and otherwise if that money, even if we don't spend that money on those things, keeping just accumulating money is also giving rise to your desires and giving rise to your kashayas. So basically, that helps us spend the money in right way and keep our desires in check. So Saurabh, initially saying, can you explain a little more on dharma? What is that?
Yeah, there's a definition in Hindi जिससे सांसारिक अभ्युदय पूर्वक मोक्ष की प्राप्ति हो उसे धर्म कहा है. In Sagar Dharmamrit, it is called Trivarg. Trivarg, it means there are three things: Dharma, Kam, Moksha. So it is called Trivarg कहलाता है ये. इसमें धर्म की डेफिनेशन ये बोली है कि जिससे सांसारिक कार्यों को करते हुए मोक्ष का साधन बनाया जाए, मोक्ष का गोल बनाया जाए और मोक्ष की प्राप्ति हो, उसे यहाँ धर्म कहा है. तो डेफिनेशन जो बनी, सांसारिक अभ्युदय पूर्वक मोक्ष की जिससे प्राप्ति होती है उसे धर्म कहा है यहाँ. फिर अर्थ की डेफिनेशन दी है.
तो सौरभ जी, इसके एग्जांपल क्या होंगे? धर्म के एग्जांपल देंगे कुछ?
धर्म का एग्जांपल यही है कि सांसारिक काम करते हुए हम जो अपना आत्म कल्याण के भाव रखते हैं, आत्म कल्याण के लिए काम करते हैं, उसे धर्म कहते हैं. सांसारिक मतलब हम जो सांसारिक काम करते हुए जो हम यहाँ कर रहे हैं ना, उसे बोलते हैं हम धर्म.
हाँ नहीं, मगर तो धर्म और मोक्ष के में फिर डिफरेंस क्या रहा? क्योंकि 4 प्रायोरिटीज बताई है, राइट? इसमें मैंने ऐसा पढ़ा था सागर धर्म में या कहीं और, कि यहाँ पे जो धर्म शब्द का अर्थ लिया गया है वो शुभ भाव के अर्थ में लिया गया है, शुभ भाव के अर्थ में, और चैरिटेबल एक्टिविटीज के अर्थ में.
हाँ, बराबर.
तो एनी एक्टिविटी helps us contain kashayas and do charitable activities, help others in a right way, that helps others to proceed down to moksha marg, as well as allows us to proceed on the moksha marg eventually. that is basically activities related to dharma, right? Okay. So all four types of donation as per Jain guidelines, community service, spending money on education, Jain education, helping people learn the science of stress management from Jain perspective, then Vitrag Vigyan, these
हम्म
all dharma.
यहाँ लिखा है ना सांसारिक अभ्युदयपूर्व, मतलब सांसारिक जो एक्टिविटीज होती है ना उनमें इन्वॉल्व होकर,
हाँ,
तो ये सब आएगा ना, शुभ भाव आएंगे उसमें,
शिव भाव,
तो
हाँ,
गृहस्थों के लिए शुभ भाव ही आएंगे ना, और क्या आएगा,
हाँ, हाँ,
क्योंकि ये तो कॉमन चीजों, कॉमन मैन के लिए बताई ना, ये तो धर्म की जो डेफिनेशन होता है कॉमन मैन के लिए बताई, तो उनको यही कहा जाएगा, डोनेट समथिंग, कम्युनिटी सर्विस,
हाँ।
जैन एजुकेशन, हेल्प समबडी, इज कॉल्ड धर्म इन अ कॉमन डेफिनेशन, इट इज कॉल्ड शुभ भाव।
और जो ना मोक्ष की जो बात है उसमें हम जो अपने अध्यात्म के पर्सपेक्टिव से जो हम बात करते हैं कि हमें देवगुरु शास्त्र का स्वरूप समझना है, फिर हमें आत्मा का स्वरूप समझना है, और फिर हमें आत्मा का अनुभव करना है, वो बातें सब मोक्ष के अंदर अंदर आएगी ना।
हाँ बराबर।
वो जो अपने स्पिरिचुअलिटी जिसमें पर के साथ कोई संबंध नहीं है, सिर्फ अपना अपने प्रोग्रेस के साथ संबंध है उसमें।
हाँ वो कह सकते, ठीक है, वहां अपन शुद्ध तत्व को पकड़ा है तो पकड़ सकते हैं, वहां कोई सुन।
हाँ। तो ऐसे धर्म, अर्थ, काम और मोक्ष। सौरभ जी, अदर क्वेश्चन निश्चित हैड वाज कि ऐसा कोई कोई गाइडलाइन है जिनागम में कि हमें कितना परसेंट कहाँ पे लगाना, कितना परसेंट टाइम कहाँ पे लगाना चाहिए, ऐसा कोई गाइडलाइन है ऐसी?
हाँ है ना, इसमें लिखा तो है, इसमें लिखा है कि जिससे एक दूसरे में बाधा ना पड़े, इन तीनों कामों को इंडिविजुअल चले और तीनों में बाधा ना पड़े। अभी जैसे आपने डिस्कस किया था ना कि भाई बहुत ज्यादा धर्म ना करें, बहुत ज्यादा धर्म करने से अर्थ का नाश हो जाएगा, बहुत ज्यादा अर्थ कमाने से धर्म का नाश हो जाएगा, काम सेवन ना करने से गृहस्थ जीवन बिगड़ जाएगा, है ना। तो ये पूरा दिया है इसमें कि इन तीनों का हमें बैलेंस बनाकर मोक्ष का टारगेट रखना चाहिए। हम ग्रस्त अवस्था में अगर हमने केवल धर्म धर्म किया और हमने कमाई नहीं की तो हम कर्जे में आ जाएंगे, जब कर्जे में आएंगे हम तो फिर हमारे संकलेश परिणाम हो जाएंगे। अब यहाँ काम से मतलब यूं समझो आपकी परिवार की देखरेख करना, पत्नी की देखरेख करना, परिवार की देखरेख करना, वो काम से मतलब है। तो अगर परिवार की हमने देखरेख ना की तो घर में झगड़े होंगे, हमारा मन शांत रहेगा, धर्म नहीं हो पाएगा। अगर हम केवल पैसा कमाने में लगे रहे तो ना काम हो पाएगा ना धर्म हो पाएगा, इसलिए केवल पैसा नहीं कमाना चाहिए। सब चीजें उतने अमाउंट में करना चाहिए कि एक दूसरे को डिस्टर्ब ना करें। वो धर्म उतने अमाउंट में करें कि वो अर्थ और काम को डिस्टर्ब ना करे, अर्थ को उतना कमाएं कि वो धर्म और काम को डिस्टर्ब ना करे, काम उतना करें कि जो धर्म और अर्थ को डिस्टर्ब ना करे।
तो इसमें ऐसा भी हो सकता है ना, then you know this might be very much individual specific to sometime. For some people, you know, even doing little bit of dharma may cause badha in other things. You know what I'm saying? तो ये थोड़ा इंडिविजुअल स्पेसिफिक हो गया ना, हर एक को अपना सिचुएशन देख के करना, ऐसा इसका मीनिंग है क्या?
ऐसा ही है इसका मीनिंग, ऐसा ही है।
शांत परिणाम रख के जितना प्रोग्रेस हो सके उतना मैक्सिमम करे अपना।
हाँ, लेकिन उसका ये मतलब बिल्कुल भी नहीं है कि किसी के धर्म करने के लिए टाइम ज्यादा है, सामर्थ्य ज्यादा है और वो ना करे।
हाँ हाँ हाँ, जितना हो सके अपना सामर्थ्य, शांत परिणाम रख के जितना हो सके अपनी एबिलिटी बढ़ाए और अल्टीमेटली मोक्ष में अपना ज्यादा से ज्यादा टाइम लगाए।
हाँ बराबर, मतलब ये तो यूं समझिए ये इंडिविजुअल थिंग है, ये तो जो है ना इंडिविजुअल थिंग है। हाँ, जो भी हम कर रहे हैं ना इंडिविजुअल। आपको लगता है कि मैं अर्थ से परिपूर्ण हो गया तो मैं धर्म में लग सकता हूँ, नो इशू। सपोज दैट आई थिंक दैट आई हैव कंप्लीटेड माय गोल टू अर्न मनी, नाउ आई कैन डिवोट माय सेल्फ कंप्लीटली इन रिलीजन, and I think that I can live without just a calm seven. I can be detached from my family and there will be no disturbance, so I can devote myself in dharma. It is individual.
तब तक अपने परिणाम शांत रह सकते हैं और अपना गृहस्थी का सब कुछ बैलेंस पूर्वक चलता है, तब तक हम अपनी लिमिट में सब प्रोग्रेस कर सकते हैं उस तरीके से।
हाँ, जैन दर्शन जैन दर्शन कभी आपको पलायनवाद नहीं सिखाता। जैन दर्शन आपसे कभी नहीं बोलता कि यू आर लिविंग इन अ फैमिली एंड यू मस्ट नॉट सपोर्ट योर फैमिली। श्रावकाचार्य में क्लियर लिखा है, अ श्रावक हु इज नॉट एबल टू सपोर्ट हिज फैमिली इज नॉट पात्र ऑफ सम्यक दर्शन। क्लियर लिखा है, क्लियर। If you are unable to support your family, you are not path of Samya Darshan because you are escaping from your duties. It is your duty to support your family, to care your family, to provide the facilities, to earn money. It is your duty. and you are just trying to escaping from that. It just means you won't be able to get some medicine.
तो इसका मीनिंग ये हुआ ना, if we want to stay as a householder or as a Shravak, then we must fulfill all these duties. And if we are to the point where we are able to detach, then we should humbly ask for diksha, right? And
Yeah, sure.
we cannot have both ways. हमें दूध में भी पाँव रखना है और दही में भी पाँव रखना है, यानी हम श्रावक भी बनना चाहते हैं मगर फिर हम कमाना भी नहीं चाहते, ये सब नहीं हो सकता, राइट?
नहीं, it is
बाधा
not.
आएगी, हाँ.
You are in a family and you will have to support your family.
हाँ.
अरे टोडरमल जी इतने बड़े पंडित जी थे ना, टोडरमल जी इतने बड़े विद्वान थे, उसके बाद भी उन्होंने कमाई तो की ना.
हाँ. I know he used to go away from his family because he had to earn. I know he lived in some other town. I heard about it.
हाँ, वो भी किसी सेठ के यहाँ कोई नौकरी करने तो गए थे ना वो तो.
हाँ. Okay.
तो इसलिए अब वी आर लिविंग इन फैमिली. और जैन दर्शन का सबसे मैजिकल पॉइंट यही है, जैन दर्शन कभी नहीं बोलता कि यू मस्ट नॉट फुलफिल योर ड्यूटीज टू योर फैमिली, टू योर सोसाइटी. सब बोलता है आपको डोनेट भी करना चाहिए, आपको समाज को भी टाइम देना चाहिए, फैमिली को भी टाइम देना चाहिए, मनी भी अर्न करना चाहिए, जैन धर्म को प्रचार प्रसार भी करना चाहिए और साथ में आत्म कल्याण भी करना चाहिए.
All goals are in parallel. Yeah.
हाँ, मुनि बनने के बाद तो अलग है. मुनि बनने के बाद तो केवल मोक्ष के टारगेट रहता है.
हाँ.
लेकिन हम जिस भूमिका में हैं, जिस अवस्था में हैं, तो वहां तो ये सब होगा, आप उससे बच नहीं सकते. मैं तो नहीं मानता कभी कि हमें अपनी ड्यूटी से बचना चाहिए, पूरी करना चाहिए.
हाँ, नहीं, पूरी करना ही चाहिए. हाँ, अगर हम उतने डिटैच्ड हो ही गए हैं तो फिर दीक्षा के लिए पूछ सकते हैं ना फिर अपने घर वालों को.
नहीं, उसकी सिचुएशन देखो ना कि फैमिली वाले मान गए हैं कि भाई आप डिटैच हो, ठीक है, हम आपको डिस्टर्ब नहीं करेंगे, आप अपना धर्म करो, तो बढ़िया है ना. लेकिन जब तक हम डिटैच नहीं हुए हैं तो फिर वो तो फैमिली का ध्यान तो रखना पड़ेगा ना.
रखना पड़ेगा, हाँ, वो तो है. Anyone have any questions? Very good discussion अभी हुआ. I hope it clears out a lot of points.
Yeah.
So this is a very important point. You know, if there is a slightest amount of imbalance out of all four priorities, it will definitely inevitably cause stress in life, as we just discussed. It's very, very important to have a clear prioritization and clear plan in all four priorities. Okay.
लोग क्या सोचते हैं प्रेरित जी, what the common thinking is that if you're trying to follow religion, if you're trying to follow Jain principles, it means you won't be able to earn money, you will not be support your family.
आपको दीक्षा लेनी चाहिए. लोग यही बोलते हैं कि आपको दीक्षा ले लेनी चाहिए.
हाँ, they're in confusion. मैं तो सिंपल बोलता हूँ, धर्म करने का मतलब ये थोड़ी कि आप दीक्षा ले लो. धर्म करने का मतलब ये है कि मैं आई एम लिविंग इन डोमेस्टिक लाइफ एंड आई एम ट्राइंग टू फॉलो ऑल दीज थिंग्स, religion, earning money, support my family as well as.
हाँ.
कॉमन लोग तो दे आर जेलस. मैं तो एक्चुअल पॉइंट जो है ना, दे आर जेलस बाय योर गुड नेचर, बाय योर फॉलोइंग गुड प्रिंसिपल्स. दे आर जेलस. दैट्स व्हाई दे आर जस्ट गिविंग दिस काइंड ऑफ स्टेटमेंट टू डिप्रेस यू, टू डिस्टर्ब योर माइंड. मैंने जो फील किया वो यही है एक्चुअल पॉइंट. क्यों
उनके कषा इतने होते हैं, they cannot imagine how like that.
You know, other thing is sort of one of the other things we actually I was writing in the book and I was talking about is there is a tendency, a lot of times people have a tendency to kind of believe that whatever others are saying is true. कुछ लोगों का अपना खुद का कोई strong thinking या moral foundation नहीं होता है. So they always rely on others' opinion so much, and if someone gives the slightest opinion about himself, ये मुझे ऐसा बोल रहा है कि मैं ऐसा हूँ, उनको ऐसा इतना लगेगा कि अरे यार लोग तो मेरे बारे में इतना ऐसा सोचते हैं, and then it upsets that person so much. तो ये जो habit है ना, to consider other subjective opinion and उनको इतना importance देना और उसको ही मान लेना, तो वो एक बहुत बड़ी गलती है जिसकी वजह से हम उसको एक तो सही है गलत क्या है उसका निर्णय नहीं कर पाते और गलत चीजों को फिर अपना लेते हैं हम लाइफ में. जैसे किसी ने अगर अपने बेटे की शादी करवाई बहुत धूमधाम से और बहुत खर्चा करके, तो उनको ऐसा लगता है कि अब इसने करवाई मुझे भी करवानी पड़ेगी.
हाँ, वो बराबर.
और फिर अपने आप को इवैल्यूएट करते हैं कि भाई सोसाइटी में ये ट्रेंड चलता है. जैसे मैं छोटा था तब मुझे कभी होता था कि मेरे क्लास के सभी लड़के वो स्कूटी या वो लेके जाते थे, जब लाइसेंस भी नहीं था तब ट्यूशन में. मुझे भी ऐसा होता था कि मुझे क्यों नहीं है, मेरे पास क्यों नहीं है. तो वो जो टेंडेंसी थी वो दैट वाज टेंडेंसी ऑफ इवैल्यूएटिंग आवरसेल्फ फ्रॉम अदर सब्जेक्टिव ओपिनियंस. उसमें सही गलत का कोई निर्णय नहीं होता है. It's simply a blind क्या बोलते हैं उसको, ट्रेंड क्या चल रहा है वो देख के उसको फॉलो करने की वो रहती है।
ये ट्रेंड क्या चल रहा है उसको फॉलो करने की।
तो ये तो बहुत वीक मेंटालिटी है, बहुत वीक मेंटालिटी है इसमें। ये पर्सन का खुद को कोई कॉन्फिडेंस ही नहीं है अपने डिसीजन मेकिंग में, अपने मॉरल फाउंडेशन में।
हाँ, मैं तो यही बोलता हूँ, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू विल हैव टू प्रिपेयर योर मॉरल फाउंडेशन ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ योर स्टडी, on the basis of experience of your ancestors, acharyas, great people. Then you will have to follow the culture, the fashions of society. मैक्सिमम लोग यही करते हैं। क्या चल रहा है बोले, अभी इंडिया में देखो आप, इंडिया में बाढ़ आई कि भाई सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर बनना चाहिए, तो इंडिया में और कोई कुछ बनना ही नहीं चाहता, सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर बनते सब लोग। अब हालत ये हो गई कि सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर तो बेरोजगार हो गए, 5-5 हजार में जॉब नहीं उनके पास। तो अब फिर डाइवर्ट होना चालू हुए, दौड़ लगाते हैं, वहीं दौड़ लगाते हैं। मतलब 15 लाख रुपए खर्च करके 5,000 रुपए का आदमी नहीं है वो।
So we were discussing the ways to contain stress in earlier. तो उसमें जो हमने डिस्कस किया ये अभी तक थोड़ा रिकैप कर लेते हैं। हमने डिस्कस किया कि स्ट्रेस को, पहली जो स्ट्रेटेजी है अपने स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट की, इट्स अ कंटेनमेंट। यू हैव टू कंटेन द स्ट्रेस सो दैट इट डजंट बिकम अनलिमिटेड और अनकंटेन्ड फॉर्म। तो एक तो जो 5 महापाप है, एक्सट्रीम वायलेंट अनएथिकल एंड immoral behaviors in our life, we have to identify, and then as well as 7 great addictions, main addictions in life, and we have to not indulge in them, we have to refrain from them. That's the first thing. Second, हमें जो बैलेंस लाइफ में बैलेंस है प्रायोरिटीज का, वो हमें मेंटेन करना है। वी हैव टू रियली अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आर प्रायोरिटीज इन आवर लाइफ, गोल्स इन आवर लाइफ, एंड प्रायोरिटाइज आवर टाइम एंड रिसोर्सेज अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट। थर्ड वन इज बेसिकली फॉलोइंग द बेस्ट लाइफस्टाइल प्रैक्टिसेस टू कंटेन स्ट्रेस, और इसमें हम कुछ ये प्रैक्टिसेस की बात करेंगे। ये बहुत कॉमन है, इसमें इतनी डिटेल जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, मगर वी कैन स्टिल गो ओवर इट। तो लाइफ में ये फर्स्ट ऑफ गोल्स है जो आज हमने बात की, इररेशनल गोल्स या अनरियलिस्टिक एक्सपेक्टेशंस नहीं रखनी चाहिए। We shouldn't have our goals should be rational and realistic. A lot of times when we set goals, we don't even know why we have that goal. Some people have, if you ask them, they have a goal of earning billions and billions of dollars money. Then if you ask them why they want to earn that much money, they have no answer for it. They don't know. I mean, they don't know what they're going to even do with that money. So irrational goal is something where you don't have the basis for your goals. An unrealistic expectation is without considering the practical limitations or other consequences of that goal. It's unrealistic expectation. So वो अगर लाइफ में है तो वो भी बहुत प्रॉब्लम कर सकता है, बहुत स्ट्रेस ला सकता है। इम्प्रॉपर प्रायोरिटाइजेशन की तो हमने बात की अभी। सिमिलरली दैट फॉलोज द टाइम मैनेजमेंट। अगर टाइम मैनेजमेंट भी इम्प्रॉपर है, अगर गोल कोई हमारा वर्ल्डली प्रायोरिटी है, कुछ चीज का हमारा गोल है कि हमें बिजनेस करना है या फिर कुछ एग्जाम पास करनी है, अगर उसके लिए अगर हम प्लानिंग नहीं करते हैं प्रॉपर और वैसे वैसे अपना टाइम गवाते हैं, तो आखिरी टाइम पे हो सकता है कि फिर बहुत स्ट्रेस आ जाए, अरे अभी इतना टाइम कम हो गया अभी मेरे पास और मुझे इतना सब करना है, कैसे होगा, और फेलियर का भी फियर हो सकता है उसकी वजह से। दैट्स अनदर रीजन। इररेशनल डिसीजन मेकिंग, जो भी हमारे डिसीजन होते हैं, a lot of times we end up making emotional decisions। अगर जॉब पे कुछ अच्छा नहीं लगा एक दिन, पर कुछ लोगों को मैंने देखा है कि they just didn't enjoy, they had just one incident at work and they just quit the job, and then later on they regret the decision because they think that they were going to find other job, but then they go to the other job and they find some or other reason where they don't enjoy. And if they made decision to join a job because of one perspective, just because better earning, if they neglected other aspects of lifestyle balance or other type of benefits, they may later regret the benefits. So irrational decision making, हमारे जो decisions होते हैं, they have to be very thoughtful and has to be considered from multiple perspectives and point of views, and has to take into account all of our different priorities in life. So irrational decision making can also cause a lot of problems in life. Our decision making should be rational. Also, we should refrain from violent, unethical, and immoral behavior. We talked about it, 7 paps and 7 great addictions and 5 mahapaps. Unwise spending habits. So I've seen a lot of people, I've heard about a lot of people here, at least in US, who don't even have money to pay their monthly rent, but can take expensive vacations to Disney World or to Hawaii for thousands of dollars, and they end up in debt all the time. And similar cases we find sometimes even in India and people over here too, that they don't have money to feed their family, but they can find money to spend on alcohol or LED TVs or in expensive computers or tablets. So these are the financial misprioritization. These are the unwise spending habits that can cause tremendous stress in life, actually. So that is something to be aware of. How to basically prioritize the spending. So how to prioritize the spending? Basically, first goal has to be making sure that we earn the right livelihood for ourselves and our family in a proper way, not by doing stealing or unethical ways, in ethical and non-violent ways. Basically, that should be our first goal in financially. Second goal is to make sure that whatever we are today, we can at least sustain our life for foreseeable future. So if we are just earning for today, but we don't have any contingency planning for tomorrow, then tomorrow we may be broke or in debt. That's another aspect of financial prioritization that should take place. Third aspect should be basically investing in a right our families well-being. Basically, health hai, education hai, right upbringing hai, getting the right values in the family. Because if we don't do this, then ultimately we won't have a right resources or right values to progress in life, and we will end up not progressing in life from all point of view. And then finally, if we have some money left, then we can think of expensive vacations or any type form of luxury. And even then, we should not spend all of our money in luxuries. We should prioritize and spend certain amount of money in dharma type activities, right? In activities such as charitable activities, philanthropic activities within our Jain guidelines. So that should be the type of financial prioritization that should take place. Sorry, did I miss anything?
Yeah, in Jainism, there is a dividation, 10 types of dividation of your money. It means what the money you have earned, you must divide into 10 parts. There are some parts, one part for only yourself individually, second part for family, third part for rainy days, fourth part only for donation, for dharma prachar prasar, fifth part uh, uh, fifth part for Gyani Dharmatma. These type 10 parts are there in Ratnam Srapkachar. I am forgetting all the name of that. But financial planning also in Jain religion. Jain religion, of course, says that first of all, you will have to fulfill your basic fundamentals requirement. For example, your home, it means bank balance, your daily requirements. These things you must fulfill. Second thing, you must give priority in your dharma prachar prasar. Fourth thing, you must preserve, you must save some money for rainy days, because if bad time comes in your life, so that money will support you. So Jain religion also provides you the financial planning, how you just plan your financial thing over here.
So financial prioritization is also very important. Also, unhealthy lifestyle. If we follow unhealthy lifestyle, first of all, in the absence of our understanding of consciousness, we all tend to believe our body as ourself. And so if we indulge in unhealthy lifestyle, ultimately we are going to get sick. If we eat food that is violent, if we eat food that is unhealthy, that is going, and not just food, other practices of being in stress all the time and being in conflicts or not having proper routine. Eventually, if we fall sick, then because of our own attachment, we will be in stress. So following healthy lifestyle, which is basically if you follow Jain way of life, everyone, including Ayurvedic physicians in India, which are known for their preventive medicine aspect, they agree that the Jain lifestyle is the most healthiest lifestyle you could basically practice, Jain way of life. So we should certainly practice Jain way of life, and we have talked at many different times. We have talked different Jain practices in terms of food, and in terms of how to drink water, and in terms of how to prepare the food. What are the limits? What to avoid? What not to avoid? What should be our daily routine? Stuff like that. So Jain way of life is basically extremely healthy lifestyle. and we should seek to practice healthy lifestyle to avoid contain that type of stress in life. Again, we talked about evaluating ourselves from other subjective opinions. We should not never be influenced just because other subjective opinions. We should we should be independent thinker, and we should have our own independent judgment and thinking, and we should evaluate our decisions based on our right values rather than others. Next would be finding faults in others. This is a tendency that allows us to indulge in more and more kashas and creates more and more conflicts and anxiety within us. So we should not try to find faults in others. There are times where we are in worldly roles. Suppose if I'm a father, I'm going to try to correct my daughter if she's not doing something right. But that is within the role, and that too with the intent of correcting something. But unnecessarily stepping out of that role and unnecessarily just thinking about others' wrong behavior, what others are doing, and that basically takes away our focus from our own progress, and it allows us to not focus on our own progress, and we indulge in kashas, and that causes more and more stress. So that's finding more faults. Speculative mindset. Many times people have this tendency, लाइफ में मुझे ये हो जाएगा तो वो हो जाएगा तो मैं क्या होगा. ऐसे तो life में there can be millions of situations that anyone could face. But if you will just keep thinking about, oh, what will happen if this happens, that happens, or sometimes people try to guess other people's intentions. ये person ऐसा है वैसा है, ये मेरे लिए ऐसा सोचता होगा वैसा सोचता होगा. That person just unnecessarily trying to guess. And these people think of themselves as a body language expert or something. In reality, they are not, but they think of themselves. So these type of speculative mindset is also very harmful in terms of stress. It just creates more and more unnecessary stress. A speculative mindset can be great tool when you're planning for your contingencies in life or at your work when you're brainstorming over options. But then there is a right purpose associated with it. But unnecessarily doing speculative thinking is just a big cause of stress. So these are some of the commonly observed mistakes or attitude or lifestyle related mistakes that people make. Another thing is negative thinking. So a lot of times, what you feel is basically how you view the situation, right? Glass can be seen half full or half empty. And depending upon whether we can choose to look at what we have accomplished, and be content with it, or we can choose to only focus on what we don't have and what we haven't acquired yet or yet to be acquired, and just remain unhappy over it all the time. Yes, having goals in life is important and it's a good thing, but just focusing only on that aspect is a negative thinking, which also brings a lot of stress in life. Next is basically fear of failure. A lot of times, even before we attempt anything, we just have a hidden fear that what if I fail? What if I fail? What if I fail? And that just never allows us to think beyond that fear of failure, and that just constant anxiety. That just even when we don't recognize it, the anxiety is there. That fear of failure is there, which doesn't even allow us to focus on our task. So for us to focus on our task, we need to have very confident and clear frame of mind, and for that we need to be detached of the end outcome. And that can only happen with the right understanding of Jain fundamentals. It allows us to basically not worry about the end outcome, but just completely beyond our control, and allows us to focus on the things that matter and that are within our control. So fear of failure, how to overcome that also Jainism teaches us. Inferiority complex. A lot of people think of themselves as inferior because of looks or education or worldly status, power, authority, possessions, belonging, nationality, religion. If for these reasons, if we consider ourselves bigger or smaller, then that will bring a lot of stress in life too. And then finally, one of the biggest and least understood reason of stress is following wrong idols and wrong ideals. So many times, subconsciously, when we see things TV or in society, we tend to follow certain idols. We idolize someone in certain fields. Someone may idolize Sachin Tendulkar for cricket. Similarly, other people may idolize other people, like actors, actresses, right? But sometimes, most of the time, this idolization occurs without any logical reasoning or any regard to the values or the consequences of following that path. And when that happens, wrong values end up in our life. Wrong idols and wrong ideals end up in our life. Like certain people sometimes in teenage think that it is cool to get drunk with alcohol and have party because they've seen other people indulging in doing those activities and thinking that they're doing good things and they're having fun. So those type of wrong idols and wrong ideals are like can bring a lot of stress. Similarly, a lot of people don't even know who they're idolizing or worshipping, and they idolize or worship people who have open image of basically slaughtering or killing other people or possessing more and more weapons or possessing more and more food items or belongings. What are we really idolizing? By considering them God or considering them as a person worth worshipping. These type of wrong idolization basically brings immense amount of pleasure, and roots go into this philosophical beliefs that we don't even recognize. So it is very, very important to choose the right ideal with a conscious thinking and a conscious regard to our values and the consequences. So these are some of the ways we have considered here to contain our stress. Basically, how can you really contain your stress? So with that, now next, anyone have any questions? And anything we covered so far? सौरभ जी आपको कुछ ऐड करना है इसमें?
No, that's fine. What's going? It's fine.
Yeah. Saurabh, as you mentioned, what we are doing is the first strategy in terms of management of stress is a containment. Our lifestyle, our attitude, our habits should be such that will allow us to progress further and contain our stress. So these are all the lifestyle practices and the attitude habits that we just discussed. It will help us if we follow it. We will have a right foundation to progress further and to eliminate stress over the time and allow us to progress in other aspects of our life as well. So next time, our next stage of stress management strategy is basically, let me go to that diagram here. Okay, so for second, this first strategy was containment. Next stage is reducing intensity of stress. Before stress can completely be eliminated from root cause, its intensity will start going down. And how we can accomplish that? How can we reduce the intensity of stress? How stress will become milder? Through what activities and through what process? That we will continue to discuss next time. And then next step would be to address the root cause and finally complete eradication. So this is a strategy that is pursued in Jainism, and that's what we are studying one by one. Anyone have any questions?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Priyanka, do you have any questions? Okay. All right, no questions. All right, then Saurabh, I think we will end a little bit early today. So आज और कुछ I think we are done for the class.